Hello, my name is Diepenbroek, and in this presentation I want to share my ideas that I have for a PhD research which I intend to start in August 2022. First, I will share my ideas, and afterwards I'll ask for specific feedback on parts of my research. And my research is about making the transition from the daily life language, making the bulb light, to the scientific language, creating a continuous loop such that an electric current can flow and energy transformation can occur in the bulb. Such a transition from daily life to scientific language is called a turning point. And intuitively, we know that making the bulb light to electric currents flowing and energy transformations, that transition is too big. So the question is, how many turning points do we need, and when do we need to introduce turning points? And it's relevant because although dialogues and effectiveness of it has been studied, the explicit link between dialogue and understanding of specific subject content has been under-investigated, and the idea of turning points is also a niche that deserves further research. And that leads to the overarching research question: how does planning for turning points during classroom dialogue contribute to the development of conceptual understanding of physics in secondary schools? In my research, I try to answer this question by means of 4 studies. In the first study, I'll give an overview of current practices. In the second, a literature study will add on to study 1. And in study 3, I'll prepare teachers to deliver good dialogues in a classroom with explicit attention to turning points. And in study 4, I'll shift the focus from teachers to students and study what actually the students learn. I would like to ask specific feedback on studies 3 and 4, so let me first introduce these studies 3 and 4 in a bit more detail. Study 3 is aimed at preparing teachers and uses a lesson study approach with 6 volunteers and follows the method followed by Freaky 2017. It is relevant because not only will it prepare teachers to be confident in delivering dialogues, it will also result in effective lesson scenarios that will be relevant for study 4 as well. In study 4, I'll shift focus from the teacher to the understanding of students, and in an explanatory case study using 6 volunteers, I'll use observations and interviews and pre- and post-conceptual tests to get an idea how the understanding of students develops in response to the dialogue. So, in study 3, I use a lesson study approach, studying the learning of teachers and also that teachers gain confidence. But what are typical pitfalls of lesson studies? And how to keep teachers involved and on board? Are there other must-dos and don'ts that I should be aware of and that are difficult to find in the literature? In study 4, I use quite a lot of methods and want to triangulate them: recording lessons, observing lessons, interviewing teachers and students, and using a pre- and post-test. As a reviewer, what evidence would you trust most? Are there other must-dos and don'ts when we talk about class observations? In general, I'm a novice. Do you have any suggestions? And what are the do's and don'ts in my first years as a PhD student? I hope you can give me feedback such that my first steps in the world of academia can be successful ones. Thank you very much.